What's up guys, my name is Ryan and I recently returned from exploring the Greek island of Milos and I want to share with you my favorite places and experiences, so here's my Milos top 10. Located in the Aegean Sea, Milos is one of the most sought after Greek islands, and after visiting it, I understand why. From the crystal clear waters of Kleftiko to enchanting sea caves, Milos has so many incredible places to visit. Let's start this video off at Sarakiniko Beach. Of all the places in Milos, this is probably the most well known. It's home to these white volcanic landscapes and there's so many incredible places to cliff jump from. It's located about a 10-minute drive from Adamantas and it takes just a few minutes to walk down to the beach area. There's a cove on the left when you first get there and there's a little beach and a nice area to swim in. Now the main reason I wanted to come here was to visit this iconic spot to do some cliff jumping. It's this really unique rock face and it has this ledge and the jump isn't too high. I mean, depending where you jump from, it's anywhere from 5 to 8 meters high. After we jumped in the water, we would swim underneath this other rock arch and this is where you can exit the sea. I brought my goggles and it was just super fun to swim around. The water is so incredibly clear. While we were there, they started filming a commercial, so I had to wrap up the cliff jumping. But we decided to come back for sunset. There was a lot less people and the sun just lit up the rocks with a nice glow and it was a relaxing place to spend the evening. After, we're going to visit the seaside village of Mandrakia. Now located just 9 minutes up the coast from Sarakiniko Beach, Mandrakia is this picturesque fishing village that's really nice to walk through. Now one of my favorite features is the cove area with all these colorful boat garages. And it would be so cool to have a little house here. In Mandrakia, there's also the famous Medusa restaurant that has great seafood. We had a good time just walking around and exploring the little village and enjoying a nice lunch. After, we're going to visit another scenic fishing village called Firopotamos. Located about 10 minutes from Mandrakia, Firopotamos is a classic Greek village with white houses and colorful fishing garages. There's a nice beach area overlooking the village and the water is just so nice to swim in. It was also a really enjoyable place to walk around and explore the town, and it would be a perfect place to spend just relaxing on the beach during a hot, sunny afternoon. Another nearby place you can visit is Plathiena. It's located just a few minutes drive from Firopotamos, and it's a fairly big beach with a lot of places to relax. I really enjoyed the rock formations and cliffs on the right side. I mean, the water was just so incredibly clear and just overall scenery of this place is amazing. After, we're going to head to the town of Plaka. Perched on a rocky hill overlooking the whole island, Plaka is the capital of Milos and has a population around 900 people. It's a really nice town to walk through and it had some phenomenal restaurants. Now while we were here, we hiked up to the church that overlooks Plaka and the island. It's built upon these remains of an old castle. I mean, it took us about 10 minutes to walk up there and it just gave us some insane views of Milos. Plaka is also an incredible spot to watch the sunset. Afterwards, we're going to visit the nearby village of Klima. Located just a few minutes from Plaka, Klima is this little settlement with just around 20 people living there, but it's believed the first inhabitants lived here all the way back in the 7th century BC. Like Mandrakia and Firopotamos, Klima is lined with these white buildings that have these colorful fishing boat garages. We came here for sunset and it was just enjoyable to stroll along the water's edge, marveling at these traditional Greek houses. After, we're going to head back to the beach to visit Tsigrado. Located on the southern side of the island, about 20 minutes drive from Adamantas, Tsigrado is definitely a little more challenging to reach than the other beaches in this video. It starts off with a little walk down and then there's this passageway you go through with a small ladder. Then at the end you have to climb down another somewhat sketchy ladder to get to the beach. Now when you get down there, you're nestled in this little cove completely surrounded by these walls of volcanic rock. I decided to do some exploring and went to the left of the beach and found these little caves, and then I decided to go for a swim and found another cave to swim through. I mean, it was such a fun beach to relax at. Now if you don't want to scale down the ladders, you can go to Fyriplaka beach. It's located right next door to Tsigrado and it's a really long beach, and what I particularly liked about it was the colors of the rock cliffs that overlook Fyriplaka. It had this vivid pink and orange color on the jagged rock complemented with the clear blue waters of the sea. The volcanic rocks of Milos create for some of the most epic landscapes. This area was also really nice to just swim and relax at. After, we're going to head to one of my favorite places on the island, Kleftiko. Of all the places in Milos, this is where I wanted to go to most and one of the main reasons I came here. Kleftiko is this area with coves and tons of sea caves and the water is absolutely amazing. There's two ways you can get here. You can either boat or hike in. We did both, and boating was definitely the easier way, and you can leave from the beaches such as Fyriplaka. As for hiking, the road on this side of the island is very bad, so maybe get an ATV or 4-wheel drive car. The hike wasn't too difficult though. It took us about 30 minutes and it was all downhill until we got to the water. I mean, I was just so freaking stoked to be here. I've wanted to come to Kleftiko for years now, and the beauty lived up to the hype. There is no beach area, but we found a flat, rocky spot to relax on. I decided to go for a swim, and there was this channel that connected to the cove, and on the side of it there was this little rocky cave entrance, so I decided to check it out. I was a little scared at first. It's always like scary to go into the dark parts of the water, but once you get past it, it's not too bad. As I got deeper in the cave, it just opened up and I was just amazed by the beauty of this place. I swam out of the mouth of the cave and I found this rock that I could stand on to get out of the water and just relax a bit. I mean, it was so much fun exploring the cave. The other time we came here, we rented a boat and it was about a 30-minute ride in from Fyriplaka. We anchored right in the middle of the cove and was able to just jump off the boat and swim around the water. We found some other cave areas that were so much fun to explore. There's also a ton of other bays and coves that you can anchor your boat in, and there's some more sea caves you can explore. This whole area is just absolutely marvelous. Now for our final location, we're going to visit Sikia Cave. I mean, this place was just absolutely insane. I'm not sure how it exactly formed, but it looks like it was once a massive sea cave and the ceiling collapsed, leaving this perfect circle in the landscape. To get to it, the easiest way is by boat. From Kleftiko, you can boat around the southwest corner of the island and head north up the coast, and you'll reach the mouth of the cave, which you can enter if you have a small boat. I was just so freaking hyped to be here. I mean, it's one of the most incredible places I've ever seen. There's a little beach that some people would ride up their dinghies to land on, and then they could explore the cave. I mean, the water was just some of the clearest I've ever experienced, and the boulders in the water created for one of the most beautiful settings I've ever came across. It felt like we were in a giant fishbowl or something. The water was a little bit chilly, but it was so fun to swim around in here. There was a massive boulder in the middle that you could get up onto and jump into the water. We spent a good amount of time here. It was absolutely amazing. I've been to some pretty beautiful places, but this one just really stands out. Greece's sea caves and water are truly on another level. Well, that is it for my Milos top 10. Before I end the video, I want to share some helpful information about visiting Milos. Now to get here, you can either fly in or take a ferry from Athens or neighboring islands such as Santorini. We took a 5-hour ferry from Athens and it worked out great. While you're on the island, I'd recommend getting a rental car or at least an ATV to get around. Most places are just a 10 to 20 minute drive from the island center. As for lodging, there's a good amount of options. We stayed on the northeastern side of the island and most places were only a few minutes drive away. Regarding how much time you want to stay on Milos, you can see all the main spots in a few days, but if you really want to enjoy it and take your time, I'd recommend at least a week. If you do decide to rent a boat while you're here, expect to pay anywhere from 150 to 400 euros, depending on the boat and how long you rent it for, and also if you decide to get a skipper or not. We went with Rent Boat Skipper Milos, and I'll link them in the description below. I hope this information helps. I had such an enjoyable time on Milos, and I'm sure you will too. Let me know where your favorite place is in Milos in the comments below. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.